Senator Franken.
Thank you, Ranking Member and the Chair, for holding this. We've been looking at the Russian attack on our democracy and been questioning government officials, past and present, and campaign people for the Trump campaign. But now this is the extent to which the Russians exploited your platforms is bringing the question in. You know, maybe this isn't something just the government has to do. This is something that you guys have to deal with and fix. And you were kind of the canary in the coal mine in 2016, and at the same time, Russia was conducting cyber espionage against American political organizations. They deployed this propaganda program on your platforms, in some case paying for it in rubles. So I want to understand why no one seems to have caught on to the Russian effort earlier. Mr. Stretch, how did Facebook, which prides itself on being able to process billions of data points and instantly transform them into personal connections for its user, somehow not make the connection that electoral ads paid for in rubles were coming from Russia? Those are two data points. American political ads and Russian money, rubles. How could you not connect those two dots?
Senator, you mentioned one aspect of the Russian threat that was so visible in 2016, which was the question of account compromise, stealing contents, and disseminating them. And that's a threat our security team was intensely focused on, and we think effectively addressed. I think in hindsight, we should have had a broader lens. There were signals we missed, and we are now focused.
People are buying ads on your platform with rubles. They're political ads. You put billions of data points together all the time. That's what I hear that these platforms do. They're the most sophisticated things invented by man ever. Google has all knowledge that man has ever developed. You can't put together rubles with a political ad and go like, those two data points spell out something bad.
Senator, it's a signal we should have been alert to, and in hindsight, it's one we missed.
Okay, yeah. Will Facebook commit not to accepting political ads paid for with foreign money in the future, say with rubles or the North Korean won? If a political ad with a won is paid for by a North Korean won, will you pledge not to put it on?
Senator, our goal is to require all political advertisers, regardless of currency, to provide documentation information demonstrating that they're authorized to advertise. The currency signal, I understand your point. It's a signal we should have missed.
You can't say no to that.
The currency signal.
You can't say no to that.
It's very easy to.
Please answer yes or no, sir. I'm asking you a question. Just answer yes or no. Can you do that? You're sophisticated. You're the chief legal counsel for Facebook. Please answer yes or no.
I can tell you that we're not going to permit advertising to permit political advertising by foreign actors. The reason I'm hesitating on foreign currency is that it's relatively easy for bad actors to switch currency. So it's a signal, but it's not enough. We have to sweep more broadly.
Why would anyone use the North Korean won? Why would a bad actor go like, I'm going to trick Facebook? I'm going to use the North Korean won.
Senator, our goal is to make sure we're addressing all forms of abuse.
My goal is for you to think through this stuff a little bit better. Can I have a little bit more time? Well, Senator Hirono, you're next.
Senator Franken.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Stretch, representing Facebook, would not commit to not accepting political ads paid for with foreign money. I asked him a yes or no. He would not answer. So I'd like to ask the same question of you, Mr. Edgett, and you, Mr. Salgado. Will Twitter and Google commit today to stop running electoral ads on American political campaigns that are paid for by foreign actors?
I don't believe we do. We'll have to get back to you. And part of the initiative around transparency on who's paying for an ad is to help educate as well as who's behind the advertisement. But I don't believe we take rubles.
Okay. Just yes or no, will you not take foreign political ads paid for with foreign money?
I think, yes.
Okay.
I would want to check to make sure it's a good signal. If it's a good signal, yes. If it's not a good signal, then it's not a good approach. But the
Really?
Intention of it is consistent. That's right.
Okay. You know, foreign companies actually can't legally do that.
Right. Foreign companies can. That's right. So the trick is to make sure that it is a signal that gives us the right hit. It's a very good signal, and so it may be the right one to use.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Foreigners can't, use money in our campaigns. You know that, right? It's illegal. So you want to know if it'd be a good signal whether to do something illegal or not?
No, the question is whether it's a signal, if it's a good enough signal on illegality. But but you're absolutely right. There's not going to be room.
Okay, I think it's a very
that.
plain question. Okay. Mr. Stretch, ProPublica recently reported that up until last month, Facebook allowed advertisers using the company's self-service ad buying platform to target more than 2,000 people who express interest in the topic of, quote, Jew hater and other anti-Semitic themes. Apparently, these categories were created by an algorithm, not a human being. And Facebook removed them from the ad platform, but only after reporters notified the company about it. Mr. Stretch, I understand that Facebook has since taken a number of steps to prevent targeting based on self-reported interests, but I question how such categories could be generated and allowed to persist without any human oversight. Is it possible that Facebook really didn't know that these categories existed until the media told you?
Senator, these categories, which of course are deeply offensive and alarming, were, as your question suggested, algorithmically generated, and we don't actually have any reason to believe they were actually used. But the mere possibility that our system permitted them to be generated is unacceptable. And that's exactly why we not only removed them, but launched a comprehensive review to make sure we have adequate guardrails in the terms.
So you don't know how many people saw those ads?
We're not aware of evidence that they were used, but the point I'm trying to make, Senator,
But you don't know that they weren't?
We don't know for certain that they were never used. That's certainly correct. What we want to do is learn from this and make sure that with respect to the interest categories that we permit advertisers to target against, obviously are not so vile and not so offensive, and we're putting in place safeguards to address it.
I know I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman, but you don't know how much revenue you generated from ad campaigns targeting Jew haters.
We're not aware of any revenue that was generated using that target.
Yeah, but that's not, you don't know whether you did or not, and therefore you don't know. The answer to my question is I don't know.
The answer to your question is I'm not aware of any revenue that was generated. We have no reason to believe they were used, but I cannot say that without equivocation.
Thank you.
Senator Kennedy.